Welcome back. I'm Helen.
I'm James.
And we are global nomads. And in 2024, we sold everything we owned to retire early and travel full time. In today's video, we wanted to show you some shopping in Kuala Lumpur. Now, as full-time travelers, we do travel with just a carry-on suitcase and a backpack, so the shopping we can do is a little bit more limited. But we did visit some of the malls and some of the shopping areas in KL, and we wanted to take you on a tour and give you a quick look if you are going to be visiting for shopping.
We're going to show you a bit of the old and a bit of the new when it comes to shopping. So we're going to start off and we're going to go to Central Market and Petaling Market, or Copy Street as it's more widely known. And then we're going to take you around to some of the newer shopping centres in the area.
Good morning from a rainy Kuala Lumpur. I had to think about that for a second then. We have been here a month. And we're finally, hopefully, not going to the hospital, and we're going to go out and have a look around. So this morning we are going to head to the Central Market and have a look around. We have been there before when we were here in 2016. I had bronchitis though, so it wasn't the best day, yeah. So we're going to get our grab and be on our way.
The last time we came to KL was 2016, and that time we used the metro system. This time we're going to jump in a grab, going to head over to the Central Market, and we'll give you a bit of a tour and show you what it's all about. So this is Central Market in downtown KL. It used to be a wet market in 1888, established by, guess what, the British. When it was under their control, and it is now really a tourist market. And this building was built about 1937, and we're going to go in and see what we can see. It has evolved over time, and it has changed a lot in the last 9 years since we last came here, and it's now really about tourism and souvenirs. But we're going to take you inside and we're going to show you what we see.
The ground floor is mainly made up of souvenir shops. There's not really many practical items here, but if you're looking for a bargain, this is definitely a good place to come. If you want your magnets, key rings, pins, stuffed elephants, I might have bought one, all those kind of basic kind of souvenir things, they can all be found here on the ground floor. I picked up 2 little tiny stuffed elephants on keychains, and I think I got 2 for about $1.50. There's lots of little bags, other kind of souvenir type items. If you want it, you'll be able to find it here. So the second floor is going to be made up more of clothes. You can buy those traditional elephant outfits here, shirts, all that kind of stuff, as well as some copy stuff. There was also bags up here as well, and also the food court. Food court was cheap, we're going to show you that in a sec. The food court was relatively inexpensive though, and quite varied.
What we've learnt staying in KL for 2 months is the cost of eating and cost of eating out is so much cheaper than it would be to eat inside. So the importance of having a kitchen in your apartment or hotel or whatever accommodation you have is kind of not that important. It's just cheaper just to go out and get a local traditional dish rather than cook inside.
In the food court here, you could easily get a meal for $2 or $3 per person. I think there was probably cheaper options than that too. We weren't hungry that day, so we didn't eat that day, but we did take a look at what was available, and there's always a good mix available too. Because Malaysia is made up of Indian and Chinese, there's always Indian and Chinese food as well as Malay food, and various other options too. You're never going to go hungry here.
Right, and lighting. Oh, that's really sweet. That is really sweet. And I've got a spoon in here's my lighting. There we go. Too much ice, I can't do it. There's my lighting. did it all cost?
So this was 6 ringgits 80, which is about $1.50. This was 4 ringgit 80, which is about $1. And this was 3 ringgits, which is about 65 cents.
To the rear of the market, you're going to see an annex. And out here, this is called the Central Market Annex, but most appropriately. And this is mainly filled with artwork and local artisans. If you're interested in buying any kind of local artisan artwork, this is the place to come.
And there were some cool sculptures all the way along that annex, wasn't there?
Along the annex and along the outside, yeah, there was, again, I think they were made by local artisans, some metal sculptures that you could take a look at. The side street along the market was mainly eating places, but there were some more shops along there too. Again, that's covered as well, but it is open air. The inside of the market is in like an enclosed building, so it does have some AC. If that's important to you, and it was to us because it was incredibly hot when we were there. But we did walk along the outside area too, lots of street vendors with different things to eat, some areas to sit down to, and some smaller shops on the side as well.
Hi, and welcome to Petaling Street, otherwise known as Poppy Street.
Just a short walk away from Central Market is Petaling Market. Along the way you're going to pass a whole other area that's a shopping area too though. There's a whole floral market area. We happen to notice this because we used to own a flower shop. But a bit further along from there you're going to find the entrance into Peatling Street.
Peta Market. Its other name is called Copy Street. We've been here before, and it really does have a good selection of everything that is a genuine copy. It has handbags, it has Rolex watches, it has pens, Mont Blanc pens, it has socks, it has underwear, it has cases, luckily because we needed to buy one. It has really everything that you want, and it is all copies. There is no genuine things here, so don't think you're going to go there and get a bargain. It is all genuine copy stuff.
The funny thing was, I was walking along, I have a small Coach handbag that I use, it's a flat one, and one of the market vendors offered me one that was better quality than the one I had, which is quite interesting as mine is a genuine one. It's a mixed bag of quality here. In 2016 I did buy a couple of handbags, and honestly the quality is pretty good. There is this whole debate around the ethics of buying copied products, and are they really copies, were they made in the same factory as the originals and you're just being ripped off for the originals. That's a whole other debate though. I will say the couple that I bought in 2016 were pretty good quality, pretty good copies, and lasted pretty well. We did buy some things at IKEA for our apartment, which we are going to take to our next Airbnb in Bangkok, and we did need to buy a suitcase to take them. So we really went for a cheap suitcase, but the same cannot be said for the quality of that suitcase. We made it to Bangkok with it and it's fallen apart. We will have to wrangle it onto the train to Chiang Mai, but that's a whole other story. We'll see if it makes it there, but yes, the quality of the case was
it's a one and done.
A one and done for sure. Yes. It's not going to be a multi-use item.
By the time it gets to Chiang Mai, it will be going in the trash.
Yeah.
So we're back. A bit sweaty. It was very hot, but I thought I'd show you what we bought. I got an essential stuffed elephant, and I saw these which were really cute that I'm going to put on my backpack, and I got two for less than $2, I think they were. And we also got some pins because we collect pins from wherever we go. These were 29 ringgits, which is about $6, $7, something like that. And I think my elephant was about $7 or $8. And I also got these, which I know I'm going to have to carry around, but they're really nice. Some drink coasters for when we eventually do have a house again one day, which I'm sure we will. But I saw them and I thought they were really nice. I think these are about $7 for 4. So we got some pretty good deals. Oh, and the last thing we got was a luggage tag, because actually all we needed was the little loopy strap bit that holds it on, because James lost his. And so we bought a luggage label as well, which I think was about $1.50, something like that. So some good bargains to be had at the market if you are interested for souvenirs.
There's food within the market, and then as you go outside of the market and cross the road, you'll see even more food vendors. This cafe has an outside area, and as you can see, there's a mural painted on the walls just outside, and then in the background you will see Merdeka 118. This is now the tallest building in KL and took over from the Petronas Towers.
It's a great juxtaposition of the traditional and the new.
So we've shown you some of the old, and now we're going to show you some of the new. What we really struggle to understand is that mall culture in many places in the world, including America where we've been for 20 years, seems to be dying and not as popular as it used to be. In Southeast Asia, mall culture is absolutely insane. There are so many malls with so many different shops, repeated like 2 or 3 of the same store in these malls that have 1,000 stores in them. And it's the kind of place that you can go to eat out, to meet people, to go shopping, but it's more of a venue than just a shopping area, and they cater for everything. But the first one we're going to take you to is Pavilion. This is definitely at the high end and also contains one of Helen's favourite shops, Daiso.
Typically the way the malls are worked, the lower floors are going to be the more affordable stores, and then the higher floors you go, there's going to be the more high-end stores. Pretty much in Pavilion there is everything you could possibly want, every high name that you can think of, Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Bottega, Rolex, Cartier, yeah, every high-end brand you can possibly think of, Gucci, that was there as well. And as well as the main area, there's going to be an annex as well that they built an extension because, you know, one shopping mall isn't enough. So there were some really interesting stores in there. There's a whole Tokyo area where you're going to see Daiso, which is my favourite shop, which is not at the high end, it's like the Dollar Tree, just to make you aware. And then there's also going to be a couple floors of eating areas too. So in Pavilion there was some higher end eating areas, restaurants, as well as a regular food court and some kind of grab and go areas too. Almost all the malls here have like a central atrium area, and it has usually a kind of revolving display that's going on there, so usually something seasonal. When we first arrived it was Eid, and so they had these really fabulous Eid decorations up. I would assume at Christmas they're going to have Christmas as well, but it's a really impressive what they do.
So we're here at the Pavilion Mall here in Kuala Lumpur, and this area behind me is called Tokyo Street, and basically it's a whole area of Japanese stores, which has my favourite one at the end, which is Daiso. Now you can find them in other parts of the world too, not just Kuala Lumpur, but it's like the dollar store on steroids basically, so you can find anything in there. We're going to take you in there, we'll have a look around. There's a couple of travel items I need to get, but it's a really great store. If you like just looking around and finding things that you never knew you needed until you went there, this is the store for you. Little hand fan with cat ears on. You didn't know you needed one, but you do. And if you wanted to keep yourself busy while you're here and you're into arts and crafts, you can get watercolours, crayons, pencils, pens, all sorts of pens, even a little tray. And then along here we've got all sorts of other paper crafts. In around the corner they've even got polymer clay. So pretty much the principle of this place is that it's a bit like dollar store. Most things are 5 ringgit 90, which is 100 yen, which in US is about $1.50-ish. So pretty similar to the Dollar Tree. So I have got another travel bottle because I needed one. I actually got a couple because I have some hair stuff I'm going to decant into this because it's smaller. than the container that it comes in. I got one of these for my watch and it's perfect. So I'm going to put some jewellery in here too, and then I'm going to put this in my hairdryer case. And I got a eyelash brush, and this is what I'm going to put my jewellery in. These are actually little socks that you can put on the wheels of your suitcase to keep your wheels clean when they're in your house. Put this in, let's go travel, so these seem very appropriate. And we bought, because we've been here for 2 months, we bought a mattress topper to make the bed a bit more comfortable, and we're going to take it with us to Bangkok because we're going to be there for a month too, and I'm not sure what the bed's going to be like. So we just got some luggage straps, again $1.50, just to tie it together so we can transport it, and a storage bag for it so we can get it in the case easier. Now we did have to buy a case, obviously not here at the dollar store, we just went to the market, but for the sake of being comfortable, or a bit more comfortable, we thought it was worth it. I think our case, we bought a big case, like a 32-inch case, and it was less than $30. So it's probably excessive to some people, but being comfortable in bed is worth it to me.
Our apartment was in KLCC, so we were literally just a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk to the Suria Mall, which is the biggest mall that's at the base of the Petronas Towers. Again, this is going to be a high-end mall. It was useful for us because it was linked by a tunnel that you could go through to reach there, so you could avoid the traffic, which was a really busy road, and obviously the weather too. These tunnels are also linked by the metro system, so if you did want to get around to any of the other malls or anywhere else in the city, this is where you're going to go. But obviously it makes sense as well that the malls are accessible by public transport. On the very top floor of the mall, you're going to find the Petronas Centre, which is a museum mainly based around science and technology. There's also a Cineplex here, and on the very bottom floor you're going to find the entrance to the Petronas Towers visitor area, and also a walkway to the convention centre. So it's really like a multi-purpose space, not just a mall. There's also a large food court area here, and just outside you're going to find KLCC Park. In terms of eating here, there was lots of traditional Malaysian food, Indian, Asian, and also some favourites you might know. And we did treat ourselves and go to Chili's one day.
Suria KLCC had a few stores that we went to on a regular basis. One of them was Marks and Spencer's, a good old British staple. Another one was Cold Storage, which was a slightly larger supermarket that we would go to every now and then. I also had my haircut here, and Helen also had her nails done here. So we visited this plaza quite often.
The closest mall to our apartment though was Avenue K, which is located just across the road from Suria Mall and the Petronas Towers, but also had Village Grocer in, which we're going to show you in another video, which was the local grocery store we used, as well as the other sort of brand name shops. Much more of a sort of locals plaza. There's no sort of Louis Vuitton and whatever in here. There is an H&M and some more sort of basic stores, and Mr. DIY, another Daiso, kind of more day-to-day stores. There was also a food court here as well on the top floor. We didn't go there, but there was a large area for food, and I think there was another cinema in here too.
On the top floor was a rooftop park. We could actually see this from our apartment, and it had a fountain and had some astroturf where you could sit and relax and have a picnic. And around there is a children's play area.
So this was just 3 of the malls that we happened to go to. There's a ton more. We don't really need to do a whole lot of shopping. Sometimes we just went to Suria just to go get a coffee and sit and relax and have a wander around. But there's a ton of shopping malls available if that's what you're into.
What we expected to pay for a lot of things like clothing in KL was a lot higher than we expected. It was probably more towards pre-COVID US prices. We expected to be living in KL on a lot lower budget than we actually did. And came as a bit of a shocker, bit of a sticker shock for us, I suppose. Sticker shock is the best word that we could use to describe it. It's not as affordable as we remember it from in 2016 when we last came here, and prices have, as they have in all the world, gone up. But it really was quite noticeable in KL, and it didn't really feel like an affordable place to buy things.
Souvenir stuff, like we said in the central market, souvenir stuff was reasonably affordable. But even like the sort of tourist clothes were not cheap. Like I think a kind of elephant print shirt was like $20 US. Food for sure was a lot more expensive than we were expecting unless you're out. We try and eat reasonably healthily, so we tried to buy fruit and veg and things like berries, yogurt and berries, Greek yogurt and berries that we eat a lot were particularly expensive. Some other vegetables and that were very affordable. I guess it depends where they're imported from. Meat we found to be fairly affordable too, but clothing for sure, like we said, was more like US previous COVID prices. So yeah, generally a bit more expensive than we were expecting. To give you an idea, now we were in Suria, which is like one of the more expensive malls, right at the Petronas Towers, but the coffee shop we went to, which wasn't a particularly expensive one, I think for my latte was about $4 US. So not particularly cheap. It was just it's called San Francisco coffee. It wasn't Starbucks or or anything.
But that wasn't any cheaper.
And yeah, that wasn't any cheaper. They were all about that price in there. So I think overall, the few clothes we looked at too, things were not as cheap as we thought they were going to be.
In another video, we talk about the general cost of living in KL. And by that, we're talking about accommodation, we're talking about grocery costs, we're talking about grabs, and we also talk about the cost of medication in KL.
And some other practicalities like getting a haircut and me getting my nails
done.
Other kind of practicals like that too. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this glimpse into shopping, old and new, in Kuala Lumpur. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.